Here we go. It's your realtor, Paulie Campanero, owner of the Vision Realty Group, Austin, Texas. And man, I'm excited about what we're going to talk about today because it's an update of what's been going on in Austin, Texas. Now look, people from all over the country have been talking about Austin, Texas because it's one of those places where prices have skyrocketed and the naysayers, the doomsdayers, they're all just waiting for the sky to fall. And while we're not there yet, there's lots to talk about and think about with the numbers and with the buyers and the sellers. And so let's just jump in and see what's going on. So since January to May, I'll get to June in a second because the June numbers just came out, but from January to May in the greater Austin, Texas area, specifically in Travis County, we saw appreciation rates jump to 24%. Now that was on pace to what happened in the previous year, 2021, and so that was pretty exciting. Things were just happening at a frenetic pace, multiple offers, properties selling for $100,000, $200,000. I sold a property for $325,000 over the asking price. It wasn't even $1 million property. When we got done selling it, it was, but just to give you a little bit of an idea of just how crazy things have been, and then all of a sudden, the faucet shut off. And we kind of saw it coming. I mean, the interest rates, we knew that they were going to be raised. We knew feds were raising the borrowing rates and that ultimately that would affect the lending rates. And inevitably, that's what happened. And in mid-April, those of us on the inside who were listing a lot of property saw it immediately, boots on the ground. In mid-May, we were signaling the warnings to people that things were going to change. Now, by mid-May, the general public had a pretty good idea, and there was articles about it, and people were talking all about it. And so what happened was the inventory began to increase because with interest rates rising, ultimately that changed the dynamics on how investors were investing. We saw significantly investors pull back immediately when new tax rates came out for investment properties and interest rates raising. And so that kind of jumbled up their equation on how they were investing. Buyers got apprehension with the interest rates moving a full percentile. Now, from the beginning of the year, we were hanging around 3.25, call it, and in May we were hanging around 5.25. So interest rates had jumped up 2%. If you bought a $500,000 property back in May, back in the beginning of the new year, your payment would have been right around $2,200. Fast forward to May, your same payment with the same amount down was going to run you closer to $2,800 and change. So you could see just how much of a difference that was making to buyers, and that freaking them out, making them say, maybe we should wait, having second thoughts about whether they should jump into the market or not. And we had tons of buyers do that where they were telling us, hey, maybe we need to see what happens, what's going to happen. And so let's jump in a little bit more on what the numbers have been doing. And so from May to June, actually, now we saw all that appreciation, and now all that was to preface what actually happened from May to June. So from May to June in this year, 2022, from May to June, we saw the Travis County median sale price go from $260,000 down to $211,000. Whoa. We just saw the median price point drop in Travis County. Now, Williamson County, the outskirts where a lot of the peripheral towns are, Pflugerville, Cedar Park, Georgetown, Liberty Hill, Leander. Okay, that's stayed still the last 90 days, actually. It's almost been completely flat at $510,000 for median price point. So, but look, we anticipate some things changing there, and I'll get to that in a minute. But Travis County saw a real big dip in months from May to June. Now, currently, we have about 9,500 homes on the market as of today. Okay, we're right at the end of, going towards the end of July here, but 9,500 homes. Now, in June, we sold just a little over 3,500 homes. It was closer to 3,700 homes, but let's call it 3,500 homes just for a flat number, right? Because with 9,500 homes on the market, we were already seeing a 2-month plus supply of inventory. Okay, so now while that's pretty good actually on the grand scale of what's going on, because I've been one of the first people to step up and go, okay, hey everybody, just chill out. Let's not freak out too soon because the numbers are still pretty good and we're not in any place of having to worry too much. yet, because while 2-month inventory, 2-month plus inventory historically is a pretty good number to be at, it's actually a very good number to be at still with houses for sale. Pre-pandemic levels, we're still significantly below pre-pandemic levels on inventory. When you go look back, and I posted this on the Vision Realty Group Facebook page, you can see that our inventory levels nationally are still very, very low. Okay, so what's the difference now and why are buyers stop buying is all of this uncertainty. And man, uncertainty, not necessarily reality, is what's driving some of this downward motion, because people are scared, and fear can be a real problem for markets. Stock market sees that problem has seen that problem in significant ways before. And so now with the real estate market, we're seeing where interest rates are going further up, and certainty around the economy and around certain industries, tech markets, and Elon Musk saying he's going to cut back 10%, and Facebook and Google hiring freezes and job rescindments, tech factors especially. And I have a friend on the West Coast who's in Seattle, has a community similar to ours in Seattle, like Austin, where we're very tech driven, very tech based, and that industry is apprehensive. There's some anxiety. There's some apprehension about moving forward. We see that a lot with the buyers. And so while a 2-month supply is not that bad, and even though our active listings are up 160% from this time last year, which we needed, right, because we were a 2-week supply, that's ridiculous. We've never seen something like that. And while all those numbers in the relative grand scheme of real estate tell us to not freak out, I think what the biggest difference is from what I've seen in my 20 years in real estate is the mindset, and really the energy around the fear of buyers really fearing that this could be a lot worse. And I think that's driving this more significantly than the actual factors of job loss or foreclosures or affordability even, because people were buying properties plentifully and readily in 2015 and 16 and 17, where the rates were where we're at now. So what's the difference? Fear. And what we're beginning to see is some of that FOMO, fear of missing out for you boomers or late Xers, right? Some of that FOMO around sellers who are finally beginning to wake up and see that, hey, the heyday and the glory days of putting your property on the market and it selling in a week or two are over. And if you really want to sell, you're going to have to get competitive, and motivated sellers who really have to sell are paying attention to professionals who are giving them the data that they need and the strategy that they need, marketing wise or price position wise, to make sure that they sell. Now, I'm not talking about bottoming out and just listing lower than anybody else. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about being strategic and paying attention to what the competition is doing so that you can sell. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take you having to really pay attention to what's going on if you're a seller. Now, look, let's cap this off with, okay, where are we going and what's going to happen? Because I really believe that the inventory overall is still too low, and I think that because of the housing shortage that everybody was talking about 90 days, 120 days ago, hasn't gone away. And while new home builders have pulled back building permits significantly, that doesn't change the fact that we have a housing shortage and that it's not going to be solved overnight. Even with inventory increasing 25-50% more, we're still going to be in a place where there's a housing shortage. Now, the rate at which people are buying, I think that's going to determine the X factor on just how far this happens. Does it happen like this? I don't think so. Does it happen like this? Does the market go like this? Does it go like this? Does it do this? Okay, it looks like I'm breakdancing with my hands now. What happens in regards to how the market goes down, okay? And at what rate it goes down. And I think that there's going to probably be a rate somewhere between here and here in regards to how the market goes down and for how long that goes down. Recessions last approximately 6 months, and they can take approximately 18 months to recover. So look, if you're thinking that things are going to get better in the spring, probably not a good bet. you're comfortable holding 2-3 years, no problem, you should probably hold on to your property. You're a buyer, hey look, this is probably gonna be a great chance where things are gonna go on sale in the next 6 to 9 months, and it's going to be an opportunity. The market crashing and bottoming out like something that happened like this like the housing crisis of '08, and look, I lived that because I was selling properties in Las Vegas, Nevada, where the average price point got down to $108,000. Look, not gonna happen here. Okay, there are no dynamics that currently are within the realm of visibility or reality where the market's just going to crash and everything's going to be 100% off. Okay, like it was prior. Okay, 50% off. 100% off. Okay, the house is free. 50% off. There's no real indicators around that. So look, if you're a buyer, I can understand your apprehension and your fear of the market, and pay attention to when you should buy and when you can afford it, because things aren't going to completely crash, in my opinion. And there's going to be a lot of opportunity for buyers in the Austin market, because come springtime next year, or maybe sooner, but in my guesstimation, I think it's going to be sometime around springtime next year, things are going to resolve a little bit back more to normal on us not feeling like we're sliding into the abyss. And so, if you have to buy, when's the right time for you to buy? When you can afford it and when it makes sense for you. When's the right time to sell? When it's the right time for you, because a whole hell of a lot more people have lost way more money speculating than getting into the market when it makes sense for them. So hey, find out what's going on with more information. Do your homework. For a free consultation on what might be best for you, we'll bring you inside market information that you cannot find online in the state of Texas to help you figure out what's best for you, because you have to figure out your vision, and it'll be our mission to be able to help you. Vision Realty Group, Austin, Texas. Stay tuned.